meals have been served by the inspiration of Swamiji from Kailasa. So we would like to take just 10 minutes of your time to share this entire contribution of Swamiji, which is No Hungry Stomach Project. So you can see here, Kailasa's International Humanitarian Agency, Red Om, started this whole initiative back in 1994. From that moment till now, about 1 billion organic meals are served.
Yes, Red Om is to prevent hunger, by deploying thousands of, trained religious, peacemakers, peacekeepers, worldwide, and use Vedagamic, methods and techniques to nourish, communities. Yes. So we are achieving this, through a scan, nutritious, food and hunger-free world. Yes, please go ahead.
You can see here all the initiatives that Swamiji has done around this No Hungry Stomach. Not only zero wastage in the food, it is also about providing sustainable, mentioned about solving the environmental issues by karma. Same way, every single world problem, Swamiji has provided Hindu solutions. Let's go to the next.
So serving and educating, the population, on the importance of, organic, sattvic, nutritious, vegetarian diet, which really helps, eliminating, the malnutrition, etc.
And during the COVID, especially when the world was closing doors, it is Swamiji and Kailasa who opened the doors for one and all. Enormous amount of Annadan went during the COVID time. So we're just going to see a recap of all the events. Yeah. So this was in 2002, where you can literally see Swamiji himself serving each and every person. And you can see all the 11 items are being served. Even till today in Kailasa, this is the guidance from Bhagavan that every Annadan should have 11 items that needs to be served. And he himself was personally doing it back in 2002. And over the years, 2003, 2005, 2 lakh meals, Swamiji was instrumental and he himself was personally serving. So no matter how big the vast Kailasa mission grew, Swamiji never moved away from this Annadan initiative. He was personally conducting this whole initiative all by himself. And 2007, here what you're seeing is 2008, where in Thiruvannamalai in Bangalore, where Swamiji was serving. And this is in 2009. So over every year, you can see Swamiji himself personally guiding and inspiring thousands of people to be part of this initiative. And even today, the Thiruvannamalai Adinam, Kailasa Thiruvannamalai, is serving thousands of people every day. The entire initiative Swamiji is driving every day and night. He spends so much of time inspiring the peacekeepers of Kailasa, inspiring the volunteers, how they should conduct themselves, what is the color of clothes that they need to wear, what is the flyer that they need to give, how they have to receive people, how the people should be seated, and how the entire ambience should look. They should put on vibhuti and how the vibhuti stand should be designed. To that detail, Swamiji himself personally spends time and inspires. The context that Swamiji holds for Annadan is something extraordinary. And it is not just somebody spending money and giving free food. It is not one such humanitarian initiative. in this No Hungry Stomach project, the context that Swamiji gives for each and every Annadan is extremely powerful. It is only liberating each and every one of them. It is about giving enlightenment through food. That is the context that Swamiji is setting. Even especially the Tiruvannamalai Annadanam, he clearly sets the vision that every single person who is walking around the hill of Arunachala, they are all blessed by Paramashiva for attaining the space of enlightenment. As the incarnation of Paramashiva, Swamiji is taking responsibility to feed each and every person, every pilgrim, that through food they attain the living enlightenment. So, Aushadha Annadanam, giving food which has medicinal properties. So, in several ways, Swamiji is enriching the entire community to be inspired and receive the benefits of living enlightenment. So several such amazing humanitarian initiatives are spearheaded by Swamiji through Kailasa. And as Swamiji beautifully shared in today's Jayanti message, there are so many glorious days ahead of us. Kailasa is going to be open to one and all, where Swamiji is going to conduct programs physically. So that moment has come where all of us are here for celebrations. And here is the clarion call for each and every one of us to be part of this celebrations, to be part of this historic moment where each and every one of you can be a founding father of Kailasa. If you decide to take a step towards this making of Kailasa nation, you are going to get liberated forever. The Janma Savalya, as Swamiji blessed, is going to be blessed to each and every one of you. All it requires is from your side, taking that step, setting that intention. Rest, the whole thing is a cosmic play. Swamiji is going to make it happen in all our lives.
Yes, I request all of you, there, take the step today on this auspicious, day, and take that step today, and you will see how this beautiful journey of your SJP, will manifest, and you can also register as a part of, becoming founding fathers. You can attend Mahaparamashivoham season 2, starting in February first, starting on February 9th until end of the first March, and just attending this program is just preparing you to to raise your frequency and to be able to manifest health, wealth, everything, and to be able to also help you in becoming founding fathers of Kailasa. So you manifest wealth to be able to become founding fathers of Kailasa. So don't wait. How Harish Aya was sharing, if all of you take one step, Swamiji will take 10 steps to make this thing happen. How he experienced it, each one of you can experience this individually in your own ways. But end of the day, you will manifest and become founding fathers of Kailasa, founding mothers of Kailasa.
Yes, so that comes to the end of this segment. I'm sure many more exciting segments are here today with all of us. And we will be learning about the happening of Avatar, how Avatar has happened in all our lives in the next segment.
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvadidam Ganasudustam Tattvamashyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Shakshi Bhutam Bhavadidam Trinorakitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Yes, Nityanam, we welcome you all back to day 5 of the Mahaparamashivoham season 2. As we are also enjoying the 46th Jayanti celebrations of our beloved Guru, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam. I hope everyone is enjoying all the events which is happening across all the Kailasa across the globe. So yes, now let us get ready for the Mahaparamashivoham segments. So as today we all are celebrating for the happening of the avatar, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, in this segment, we're going to understand the science, the reason behind why the avatar has to happen and what is the reason for his avataric mission. See, in our human life, like there are 3 ways in the consciousness level. There are 3 phases of manifestation happens. The happenings are happening. One is the conscious natural process. Another one is the conscious artificial selection. And third one is conscious selection. This is how the birth, the happenings are happening in this planet world. First is the conscious natural selection. Second is the conscious artificial selection. And third is the conscious selection. So all the avatars happens by the conscious selection. So let us understand what is this conscious natural selection, how this fish evolved into a tortoise. That is a conscious DNA mutation happened, and by consciously, by natural process, the happening happened. The next is conscious artificial selection, which is like nowadays, like we have seen so many animals have been, so many breeds have came, right? So there is a like artificial mutation happened, and so many breeds of dogs, cows, all that came. So all those are conscious artificial selection. Next comes the conscious selections. So we human beings understand the reality, the very purpose of our life to achieve enlightenment. So moment we understand our actual reality, the purpose of our life, we found ourselves, like we make our very strong foundation in our very own consciousness. So this, our own very consciousness, having this conscious shift is what happening now. So for this happening, avatar has to happen to facilitate this process. So avatar is very much mandatory for this very conscious shift. Whenever there is a need for a conscious shift in this world, avatar has to land, and it is a responsibility, his mission to give this conscious shift to the humanity. Now all our human beings are like walking towards this conscious shift, human to God. So for this mission, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself happened on this planet Earth, and with the avataric mission of making Kailasa and making each one of us evolving from this human level to the God level. So as we all enjoying the 46th year of the avataric mission of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So yes, now we'll be having a beautiful video where Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself is explaining the science, and also a wonderful story where Ramakrishna has told about the avataric happening. So yes, I request all the participants for joining on the Mahaparamashivoham season 2 Zoom rooms, Kailas Darshans, and all those viewers who are joining us for the YouTube, Facebook, Twitter lives. I request all of you to come to the space of listening. See, the very mission of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is making the Kailasa, the very ecosystem. So many of you may ask, why Kailasa? What is the reason for this Kailasa having a new nation? to create an ecosystem, like how a born baby, if it needs to be like grown, we have an incubator, right? So give the ambience, to a proper ambience for the kid to settle in this new world and start growing from there, and the new transition from a mother womb to like this common world. Same way for all of us, the human beings of this world, for all of us to have this biggest transition. Yes, amoeba, we have evolved as a monkeys to man, all that happened. But now this conscious shift, human to God, human to divine, evolving ourselves as Paramashiva, this is the biggest conscious shift. For this, we need an ecosystem, like an incubator for all of us to be in the ecosystem and evolve and have this superconscious mutation. For this to happen in this planet Earth, Bhagavan himself, Paramashiva himself, came on a human body, and it is around like 46 years of endless hard work. He has made the Kailasa happening. So yes, now we'll be hearing from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, the science behind the avatar happened. Yes. So I request all the participants to come to the space of listening. We're going to have a wonderful video and a story, wonderful story also for that. Yes.
Why incarnations happen on the planet Earth? Ramakrishna says beautifully. There was a big, beautiful garden with so many trees, with so many variety of flowers, with so many variety of fruits. 3 friends were walking near the garden. There was a big wall. One friend climbed that wall, saw the garden. Oh God, such a beautiful garden. He just jumped inside the garden and started enjoying. The second guy climbed the wall and saw the garden. He felt so beautiful, but he had a little bit of courtesy. He turned and said, "My dear friend," the friend who is below, he said, "My dear friend, there is a beautiful garden, come, I am going." He jumped and started enjoying the garden. The third guy, he climbed the wall. He saw the beautiful garden and he saw his 2 friends enjoying, and he understood the joy and the bliss which they are enjoying. Then he decided, no, I will go down and tell all my people there is such a beautiful garden, and I will bring them all, make them enjoy this garden. The man who comes down is incarnation. The man who descends from the divine is incarnation. The person who comes back to the planet Earth to tell you about the divinity, to make you realize what he experienced, he is called incarnation. Scientist is a person who creates a formula to understand the things of the outer world. For example, Newton saw something happening in his garden. He saw the apple falling from a tree. Suddenly some understanding came to him. He understood something. Why this is falling? What is happening? Why it should not go up? Why it is coming down? He started thinking. Some understanding happened to him. The glimpse of truth happened to him at that moment. Immediately, he analyzed, created a formula so that everybody can understand what is happening when things fall. Theory of gravity. He created a formula. Scientist is a person who creates formula for the outward things, for the things of the outer world. Same way, mystic, spiritual mystic, enlightened person is a person, master is a person who creates the formula to reproduce the inner world experiences. Scientist creates a formula to reproduce the outward experience, the outer world experience. Master is a person who creates a formula to reproduce the experiences of the inner world. Meditation techniques are the formulas. Incarnation is a person who can directly give the experience without even using the formula. All these great incarnations are coming down to the planet Earth to give the spiritual experience, to make people realize that they are divine, to make people experience they are God, to tell the people the other side is beautiful, there is a very big garden, come let's go and enjoy. Incarnation is a person who has come down, descended to teach divinity to the world.
The Magara, crocodile, fish, all these jivas, they lay the egg, the banks of the river, close it with mud, just by the constant remembrance hatches the egg. Please understand. The Brahmi, V, makes one into V by the sound, teachings. The hen makes the egg into chicken by the physical presence, touch, initiation. Keeping in the breathing space and initiation, the physical touch. Magara, crocodile, tortoise, fish, all of them hatches you through all these three. Through his teachings, first level. Through the initiation, second level. Through constant remembrance of you. Wherever you are, he hatches you into a new being. He makes you into very his self. First, the words, teachings, then the touch, sparsha, initiation, then wherever you are, because constantly you are connected to him, how you remember him, he goes on remembering you. I can see very clearly. Millions of people are living inside this body. Whoever is remembering, they are all living inside this body. Each cell is responding independently to all the people who are remembering this body. That is why the enlightened beings, the incarnations, will be available in the form of Divya Sarira even after they leave the body. When they give initiation to a disciple, they take a vow. Till you become enlightened, I will be available to you even if I leave the body. That is why when the masters leave the body, their Divya Sarira will be available in Aksharadama, means the imperishable space. Aksharadama is the gateway of Kshara and Akshara, perishable and non-perishable. It is the gateway of form and formlessness. It is the gateway of ice and water. Water is formless, ice is form. So where both of them are touching, that is the space called Aksharadama. We call it Shambhala. All enlightened beings, all incarnations, till all their disciples achieve enlightenment, reside in Aksharadhama in the form of Divya Sarira. Their Divya Sarira is available.
And I will reveal 3 important words and the truths. First word, natural selection. Second word, artificial selection. Third word, conscious selection. Let me expand on this truth. In the evolution of life, fish becoming tortoise is conscious selection in the DNA mutation process. Listen carefully. In the DNA mutation process, consciousness goes through a natural selection process. Maybe I can use a better word, conscious natural selection. The consciousness of the fish, through the natural selection process, evolves in its DNA levels through various mutation. Understand, no DNA mutation is an accident. It is surely for the sake of better way of existence. By the very tendency of the consciousness is expansion, survival and expansion, living and enriching. The very DNA's programming is integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching. It is integrated to its existence and authentic to its experience of identity, I, and it takes responsibility for further expansion, enriching. Because of the fundamental quality of the consciousness, consciousness goes through a natural selection process in the DNA mutation. And fish becoming tortoise is an example for this conscious natural selection process. Second, conscious artificial selection. Example for this is human beings breeding various types of dogs, various breeds and varieties of dogs. First, to understand the dog's fear, greed, and intervene artificially in its natural flow of life, and through the external intervention you start breeding various varieties based on your needs. Dog breeding is conscious artificial selection process. That's an example. Third, beyond these two, something called conscious selection process. You, human being, consciously choosing consciousness as the foundation of your very existence and liberating yourself, enlightening yourself. Moksha and Jivan Mukti, becoming the reality of your existence, is conscious selection process. Understand? For this process, an incarnation happens. Incarnation happens to make the human being's DNA understand the conscious selection is possible and it is good. Bringing that great news to the humanity is the responsibility of an incarnation, avatar. Avatars happen for this vision. Listen carefully. For your DNA to choose consciousness and will persistence as a way for evolution, to do the conscious selection, your DNA need to be introduced to its higher possibility. If your DNA decides to do conscious selection and decides to evolve its DNA through the mutation, through will persistence, where it is going to land, what it is going to achieve, your DNA need to be told about the end result. That is why an incarnation happens to inspire your DNA to go through the conscious selection process. Understand? Today's subject for the webinar, happening of the avatar. Let me explain the multiple reasons for why avatars happen. First, whenever there is a serious danger for the Srishti, whenever there is a serious danger for the life itself, whenever life needs to be pushed to the next level, whether DNA need to have a quantum jump in its natural selection process or conscious breakthrough need to happen. For example, in the natural selection of DNA process, fish evolves as tortoise, tortoise evolves as pig, pig evolves as man, animal, Narasimha. Then you need superconscious intervention to push the natural selection process of DNA to have a quantum jump. See, from man, animal, jump to an animal. Listen carefully. From man, animal, jumping to an animal without consciousness is easy. It may have the form of a man, but it will not be completely carrying the consciousness of a man. So, from man, animal, if the jump has to happen to man, human being, not just DNA need to evolve through its natural selection process, conscious intervention is required. That is why When Vishnu comes as a man animal, Narasimha, and pushes the natural selection process of DNA to the next level, Paramashiva comes as Sarabeshwara and pushes the conscious intervention and takes the whole thing to the next level, human being. Every time when Vishnu comes as incarnation to give a natural selection breakthrough of a DNA, a quantum jump, Vishnu comes and gives a breakthrough in the natural selection DNA process. Paramashiva comes and gives a breakthrough in superconscious level. Purpose of my incarnation is to get the attention of scientists to study the non-material, superconscious happenings which is not perceived usually by the five senses, and the small definition of the proof of existence needed to be expanded. Understand? What you call as proof of existence is too small. The definition of proof of existence is too small. Scientific community need to expand the definition of the proof of existence, one, and should start studying non-material phenomena and happening, superconscious happenings and phenomena, attracting the attention of the scientific community to that space of non-material phenomena and happening, superconscious phenomena and happening is the purpose of my happening. Understand? Paramashiva will do it. He is doing it and he will do it. If science puts little time and energy and attention to study the non-material happenings and phenomena, superconscious happenings and phenomena, I tell you, we will have the growth in next 1 decade, 10 years, which we have not achieved in last 2000 years of existence. If we put little attention in this direction of non-material existence and phenomena, superconscious existence and phenomena, we can easily understand the whole Hindu literatures, Idihasa, all the Hindu traditional source scriptures of Shruti Smriti, its recordings of history, recordings of cosmological discoveries, recordings of amazing knowledge source. Understand? I'll repeat, in hundreds of years, history becomes legend. In thousands of years, legend becomes myth. In thousands of years, legend becomes myth. Mahabharata is neither legend nor myth, it is history. It was history. It is history. It will be history. I will make sure the scientific community's attention is drawn to study non-material phenomena and happenings. And I will make sure science expands its definition of proof of existence from the mediocre definition which we are having. Anything can be perceived by the five senses commonly. Understand? This scale of proof of this scale called proof This scale used as a proof for any existence itself is mediocre. The scale needs to be upgraded to the reality, and scientific community should start studying the phenomena and happenings of the reality, superconscious. Then whatever I am revealing, you will understand very scientifically, and science will catch up with whatever is revealed in Hindu source books, Shastra Pramanas, Shruti and Smriti. At least let few thousand kids learn this power manifestation science, and not only they manifesting, I will train them to initiate others manifesting. So let few thousand Nithyanandas be reproduced before it is too late. Before it is too late, let us reproduce few thousand Nithyanandas, where this power manifestation science is kept alive. Oh, Hindus, enough. You guys have had a silly conversation and judged me. I am not attacked because of my so-called right-wrong, keeping this science of enlightenment of Hinduism alive. Oh, Hindus, wake up. Anti-Hindus know my potential before Hindus know my potential. The purpose of happening of the avatar this time is to revive Sanatana Hindu Dharma and get its spiritual legitimacy, religious legitimacy, social legitimacy, cultural legitimacy, economic legitimacy, literary legitimacy, judicial legitimacy, and political legitimacy of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. I'll do it. Let's all make it happen.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. Swamiji, the next question I have is specifically for all the people who are watching you on YouTube. There are like 1 million people who are watching you on YouTube, and another 1 million people who are following you on Facebook. Now, for somebody who has never met you, never met you physically, not attended any of your programs, not taken your initiation, but they are sitting out there in some part of the world, connecting to you through your videos. They feel immensely connected to you. Do you recognize them as your disciple? How do you know that they are sitting there, or do you? Of course you know, but how is that whole process happening?
Understand, this is only one of the rooms I am using. This is only one of the quarters I am using. Just like Bengaluru Adhinam as one of my quarters, and many other Adhinams as my quarters, as on now I am using only Bengaluru Adhinam quarters, does not mean that is only mine. All the other Adhinam quarters is also mine. Same way, this body which I am using is only one of my quarters. When you say, people who have not met me physically, but listening to my discourses, watching and feeling connected, understand, discipleship is not restricted just to this body. In multiple planes, I exist. In multiple planes, I operate. Each one, the way they are connected, the same way they get the response. Just few days before I declared, now people are going to have darshan and vision in their dreams. Like they will have the vision, darshan of me appearing and blessing them and showering gold coins and diamonds, or showering them with wealth. When they wake up and see, really they will see all around on their bed literally the gold coins and diamond, whatever has been blessed in the dream state, in the real. And you will see in next few days people putting this kind of experiences and blessings in the Facebook. You will see these happenings, the mystery, the mystical happenings are all not restricted only to this body. I should say that this is one of the body I am using to relate with all of them. There are some more bodies which are being used, and I should say that there is an automatic 911. Whoever calls from wherever, they get the response. And it is not necessary all that information should be known to this body and mind. But whenever needed, this body and mind gets those informations. And whatever is needed gets done through this body. It is such a intense subject. Maybe I'll use few more examples and give you an understanding. In various planes, like in dream state, the body of Nityananda is different. In the deep sleep state, there is another one body. In the waking state only you are seeing this body. And Turiya, there is another one body. In Turiya Atita, there is another one body. In all those states, the bodies which are being used, they all respond automatically from the calls received in those planes. So this body is only one of the centers I am using. That is why when people call, pray, automatically they get the response. When it is brought to me, I download what has happened during that time and give them extra information, that's all. But I myself, this body and mind does not necessarily need to be involved during the prayer or the answer. Action and response happens without even this body and mind knowing or getting involved. So wherever you are, understand, and you are calling this form, this name, feeling connected, immediately Sadashiva responds. Understand, this form and the name is the gift to the universe by Sadashiva. I am also enjoying it like you are all enjoying it. This name and this form is the gift to the universe from Sadashiva. Just like you all enjoy, I am also enjoying it. Paramashiva's direct and very important message. Listen intensely, sincerely, carefully, and assimilate. Recognizing my identity as Paramashiva, me as manifestation of Paramashiva, especially the exclusive relationship you have over me, the exclusivity is the right you gain the moment you recognize my identity. Understand? Exclusivity and intensity, exclusivity and intensity in the relationship is the right you gain the moment you recognize, the moment you cognize my identity as Paramashiva. Understand? Listen to this very intensely. Keep two mirrors. Sit in such a way in one mirror, your face will reflect. In another mirror, this world, naturally the world only will reflect. Maybe you can sit next to the window, keeping the mirror, showing the sky. Listen. In reality, both mirrors are mirroring two different dimension, face of you. How much you feel you are your body, how much that is true, more than that you are cosmos is true. You are part of this cosmos. You are verily, if I have to make more proper statement, you are verily the core and source of this cosmos consciousness. Just like Paramashiva has 25 faces, you experiencing your body as you is one face of you. You experiencing your mind, emotions as you is one face of you. You experiencing your deep sleep state is one face of you. You knowing this whole cosmos is you is one face of you. Understand, if you recognize my identity as Paramashiva, you will recognize your identity as Paramashiva. If you recognize your identity as Paramashiva, one of the face of you is Paramashiva, you will simply recognize, I am Paramashiva. In these two, any one happens, you won the game. Life is all about that. That's all. Life is too simple. It's all about living after recognizing your identity as Paramashiva or my identity as Paramashiva. That's it. I tell you. When I recognized Arunagiri Yogeshwara, my guru's identity as Paramashiva, I said, Shivaya Namaha. When I recognized my identity as Paramashiva, I just said Shivoham. Understand? Living either as Shiva Yanamaha or Shivoham. Both are okay, but this is life. Life is too simple. Understand? Recognizing my identity as Paramashiva is literally living enlightenment, conclusion, completion of your fulfillment. You achieve fulfillment, you start living fulfillment, enlightenment. The moment you recognize my identity, understand? When you recognize my identity, you recognize your Ishwaratva. The Ishwaratva starts oozing out of you when you recognize the Ishwaratva oozing out of me. But the good news is, anyone recognizes my identity is going to just walk around as superconscious mutants. I tell you, the best lifestyle is conscious communities, Kailasas. See, you don't have to give up the comfort of your home and your personal space, privacy of your home, but create conscious communities, e-Kailasas. Like have your own home, but gather once in a while for doing yoga together, puja together, in Zoom. You don't even need to gather physically. In Zoom, online. E-Kailasas. Just gather and do yoga, do Vakyart Sadas, do puja together, do power manifestation. That's all. This is the best lifestyle. Just liberate more and more people from conscious slavery. Abolish conscious slavery. Recognize my identity deeper and deeper and deeper. As Paramashiva, you will recognize your identity deeper and deeper and deeper as Paramashiva, and you will experience the exclusive relationship we both have. That's all is the essence of enlightenment. You will just manifest the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness. Kailasa